Located in Lenoir, North Carolina, aka Happy Valley, there is a chapel of rest that apparently ain't nobody getting no rest at. In 1916, the Joker burnt down, and the establishment was not having that, so they rebuilt it as fast as they could in 1917. Well, in 1920 is when the true legend begins of this little chapel. It's said that there was a preacher, and he had busted his wife running around on him. So he lost it. He went to the church on a Saturday evening and he drug in a rope with him. Well, y'all, he threw it around that banister right there in front of the first pew. And he took his wrist, and y'all know what, and let him bleed. And then he himself, right from that rafter right there. And they said that you could still see the rope marks in that rafter to this day. And also, the blood stains on the floor and his shoe scuffs from where he... Yeah. Another thing allegedly that took place with the preacher is that he is buried outside of the cemetery. And his wife is buried in it. But he was only buried outside of the cemetery because of the way that he passed away. Whenever that happened back in the day, you were not allowed to be buried inside of the church ground walls. And he apparently hasn't left this place. His spirit is still on these grounds. They say if you look in the windows of the church at night, that you can still see him right up there, just swinging. Some paranormal enthusiasts have been to this chapel and said that they have caught EVPs or heard the disembodied voice of a man saying things that are a little bit inaudible. Another legend that is involved with this church is right up there. At the podium is said to sit a Bible. And if you walk up there to that podium and you open it and you look inside of it, you'll read the day, the time, the year, and how you pass away. Other people have said they have walked to the doors of this church, they have opened it, they have looked inside, and before they could walk in, they see a pair of red eyes staring right back at them, and they slam that door and run all the way back to their car. A girl was in the cemetery with her mama one time, and they were visiting, and she allegedly looked out there upon the tombstones and saw nothing but spirits standing there looking back at her, and she herself ran out to the car and refused to get back out of it. She wasn't the only one to report seeing spirits out in the cemetery. Other people have said they have seen them as well. Now, there might be another story involved with this chapel of rest where the preacher, before he did that, he went out and he unalived two underage ends. And then he did the deed, and the two were buried out there in the cemetery. But that's just hearsay. There's no documented proof of any of this. This is why it's called a legend. But with every legend, there's always just a little bit of truth or a seed that planted that truth. And it's all about finding where it came from. Have you ever been to the Chapel of Rest? Do you know the stories, the accurate ones of this place? Or is it all just hearsay? Let me know in the comments what you think. And y'all know what to do. Hit them buttons and don't forget to follow me for more paranormal stories.